I passed a PhD milestone. I have upgraded from a PhD student to a PhD candidate, and I still don't really know why that is significant, but it means I have to go ahead to complete my project as I planned. So first and foremost, welcome back to my channel. My name is Éireann. I'm a PhD student studying education at the University of Cambridge. As of this week, I'm officially in my second year. So if anyone does watch my vlogs, you'll know that there have been quite a few delays with me being able to submit what is called my registration report. And after you submit your registration report, you then have an upgrade viva or a registration viva, or some people call it NOTAF, but I still don't really know what that stands for. Essentially, I wrote 10,000 words and submitted them in summer, stating how I was going to do my PhD. So it was kind of like an extended proposal where I said, here's exactly what I'm going to do, with way more detail than I had ever written before. The delays continued and I didn't have my upgrade viva until November, so a significant number of months later. I'm so happy it's out the way, I'm so happy it's done, and I kind of just wanted to share a bit about how I prepared for it, the way in which I was feeling and how it went, more so in a vlog style than in a chatty video. But this is kind of a mashup of the two. I feel like I didn't necessarily present a very clear narrative in the recording I did over the week, but essentially I had a long and hard think about how was best to prepare. The other big thing happening is my viva. So this is called a registration viva or an upgrade viva or a first year viva, whatever. And yeah, what basically happens is I have two examiners who will have read my registration report, that thing I was working on at the end of the last academic year, and we have a long conversation about it. And they can ask me anything from, you know, why have you chosen this theory, or why have you chosen these methods, or how will you prepare for these challenges? And for about 90 minutes, so 1 hour and a half, I have to defend my position, or, you know, show flexibility and show that I am, you know, willing to take those ideas on board. So I had a mock practice with my supervisor on Tuesday. Today is now Thursday, and the upgrade viva is happening on Monday. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous. It was intense, the mock. I held my own, but I don't think I was like incredibly impressive. I think it was, yeah, enough to get by. So I just really want to make sure I have like polished those areas of feedback. And I want to make sure that, I guess, I do the part of taking care of myself as well. I want to make sure I've rested well over the weekend. I have a good breakfast on Monday. I go in with like a level head, because sometimes I do have a tendency to just like over prepare, panic, and, you know, get very worked up. And actually some of my best performances, if we want to call them that, so, you know, exams and stuff, have come from just taking the day off before, having a really relaxed approach and having a really good mindset. So that's what I'm planning to do now. I will spend the week preparing, or, you know, today and tomorrow preparing, but over the weekend I will rest and, you know, visualize good things, manifest, all of that kind of, yeah, all of that good stuff. So that is where my focus is at the moment. The key pieces of feedback that my supervisor gave me were essentially ensuring I have references ready, and ensuring that I can just be like, yeah, as was done by this, like name dropping a lot more than I usually do. I'm not trying to excuse myself, but I am rubbish at remembering names. So even if I watch a movie, even if I read a play or a book, I can't tell you anyone's name. Like, I can tell you exactly what happened, I can tell you exactly what is said and what is argued, but I am rubbish at remembering names. So that's going to be a bit of a like memory game for me. And I think that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to throw those references in my notes under the questions I think they'd be most appropriate for, just so I can be like, okay, is this person who says it? because I'm good at being like, yeah, people argue this, but I couldn't tell you who. And I think, yeah, I do just think that's a brain thing. So I'm going to work on that, so it's something I can do. There were also, yeah, bits of feedback around theory, which I don't think I need to change. I think I just need to articulate better. So I'm going to spend some time talking things through, basically. So yeah, that is how my morning is looking. I'm going to get on with that admin because I realise I've spoken for quite a while now, and I want to make sure that I can start working at 10, or at least as close to 10 as possible. Yeah, I think I maybe, I don't want to say panicky, but like, yeah, I am feeling the nerves. Just in terms of the Viva itself, but also ensuring I spend my weekend wisely. I think it's easy to trust your gut feeling by, you know, working so hard that it is undeniable, and you have done absolutely everything you can to prepare. And that has definitely been my approach sometimes, at least, yeah, particularly for like a job interview or something like that. But as I said before, I'm trying to have like a steady, calm mindset, and remind myself that I will perform my best when I'm rested, when I when I have taken care of myself. So it's very much a bit of a fight between those two approaches, but it's okay, we're staying calm. I then practiced throughout the week before my Viva was scheduled to take place. And really, that was just me talking out loud to myself or to anyone who would listen, answering some questions I anticipated were likely to come up. So I appreciate that looking at my third study, measurement isn't necessarily the key theme, or at least is difficult to gather when it's qualitative. However, some of the exercises, which you'll see in my appendix that we'll be doing as part of a group, are structured around measurement and weighting, through the idea of collectively producing a sort of class quiz. So I think there is scope for it there, but I think that's not necessarily the aim. The aim isn't to say, you know, we came up with a new tool or model. It's actually to leave with a better understanding of participants' different conceptualizations and measures of class, then with the opportunity through one-to-one interviews, one-to-one narrative interviews, to reflect on that further in line with their lived experience. Conceptual framework considers class as multifaceted, although strongly underpinned / determined by economic and occupational status. This class group influences capitals possessed by an individual. This might sound deterministic, but I leave space to recognise the influence of both structure and agency in relation to class. I also recognise that agency isn't distributed equally, and there are some who are positioned to use this more to their advantage than others, usually in cases of reproduction, which finally my conceptual framework, the education to be outcome mediator of course group. And then the day of the Viva itself came out and I went off to complete it. So yeah, I spent this morning reading, I had breakfast, and I'm basically going to get ready to go. I've got an hour to walk, and hopefully that just means if I am feeling restless, I can get some energy out, but also be like refreshed for the time I arrive there. So yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. Yeah, I really don't even know like what is worth discussing or highlighting. Sorry, I just put something in the bin. I think the key things are I really need to articulate this as a like holistic piece where everything works together. Thinking of the video I made on like how to get funding for a PhD, it is that like what is the narrative and how does this all fit together? And considering my project is a mixed method project, I really need to speak to the fact that like all pieces fit together and all pieces answer the question and like all parts are necessary. So I have to convince them of that as well as convince them of my ability to like actually do this project and do this project in a timely manner. So I will do a short reflection talking a bit about like what comes up. But yeah, please wish me luck, even though this will all be in the past. Okay, so I've jumped into this little soundproof box. I've got my phone out so that if anyone can hear me, it just looks like I am sending a voice note. And I just had my viva. It's finally done. I'm so relieved. And I passed. I passed with some minor corrections. What was recommended was that I write up these corrections kind of in response to the report that they write following the viva. So they said, follow the method as if you had sent something for publication and you got some recommendations and you write a response where you outline how you plan to address these. So they said, you know, we don't want you to change the report or add anything to the report. We just want you to spend some time reading and then writing out how you will address some of these key questions we have or key concerns we have. Now, the key concerns that came up, or actually I wouldn't even call them concerns, like maybe I am being maybe I'm being big-headed, maybe I'm being braggadocious, but they were like, these aren't actually concerns, these are recommendations. And one was about a particular model I use. So this is called the OED model, which is kind of origins and to destinations of education as a mediator. They spoke about the ways in which education might be a moderator and for whom, and whether I could adjust that model to better represent some of the ideas we talked about. They also wanted some kind of further clarity about my methods of analysis for my qualitative piece. So I'm going to write that up. And then, there was questions about how I might better, or in what ways I might think about the critiques of Bourdieu's model or kind of explanation of class, ensuring that like intersectionality is considered. So they said they'd share some kind of recommended readings on that for me to write some of those ideas up. And there were a few other things that I just can't even remember. Like, I'm just so happy it's over. It has been months. What else? Yeah, so qualitative analysis. Oh yeah, they recommended perhaps having a second sample or a second kind of set of data for my secondary analysis to compare to. So I will, consider that. And they said, you know, not to do the exact same kind of modeling and analysis, but just to do a tiny bit of comparative work. So yeah, it was really good, and actually they were like really nice about it. They seemed really excited about the potential of the PhD itself, but also elements of it, such as a systematic review. So yeah, I'm excited. Everyone was kind of like, well done, you worked so hard, take a break. But I'm like, no, I had my break. Not no, but like, I had my break. I'm ready to get it moving. Please give me my report now so I can get moving with it. That being said, they kind of implied the report would be available next week because a lot's happening for them this week. So yeah, we'll work on that. We'll get there. I am just so happy this is over. I'm so happy that I can move forward with my PhD because I am excited about it and there is a lot I want to do. So watch this space, I guess. So that was this Monday and today is now Sunday. So yeah, it's been weird because life then just went on as normal after it. I still haven't received my report and I don't anticipate receiving it until the kind of coming week. But yeah, I think it's weird. I think it's because I waited for this for a really long time. It's something I thought would happen quite quickly after my registration report submission, which it does for most people. But I think for that reason, there was kind of a sense of like, I don't feel as proud, or I don't feel like it's as big of an achievement as it actually is. When I recorded kind of straight away after, I do think my brain was still very, very frazzled. There were some really nice things that were said, particularly compliments around my writing, which I really appreciated as somebody who's quite insecure about their writing and their my writing ability. So that was really nice. And yeah, they seemed like they were quite excited by the potential of the project. What was really nice was the two assessors I had. So those were two people within the department who hadn't read my work before. They both had quite different expertise, so they were able to make some really, really good suggestions about my PhD from their different perspectives. So that was really, really helpful. Yeah, there were some really good things said. I think I worked hard on this a very long time ago, so it's really hard to try and be excited about that, I guess. In terms of how I'm feeling now, there's obviously the need to write my responses or recommendations in response to the suggestions put forward by the assessors, which will come through in their report. But aside from that, I should have the go-ahead. I should be able to get started with my PhD, and I am still kind of restless, just waiting for that because I do feel ready to go. That being said, there are elements of life that are keeping me busy. So teaching something I've been able to do. So that's the teaching of students on different undergraduate courses, and that's been really enjoyable, and that's definitely kept me busy. But with the PhD itself, I think because I feel delayed, because I maybe feel like I'm in limbo, I am struggling to be excited about that. And I think also with regards to content creation or making videos about PhDs, I think because I don't feel as excited about my PhD, I'm struggling to want to talk about PhDs or share advice. So I just kind of need to get out of that rut, and I think that comes with doing the work and prioritizing time to do that work around the teaching and all the other things that come up, even if I don't yet have the report I need to move forward or other aspects of kind of guidance. There are other ways in which I can keep busy. So I don't know, I appreciate this isn't the most exciting video, but I do hope that it kind of acts as a reset, and that, you know, from tomorrow, from next week onwards, I can really get in the swing of things. I can get back to this systematic review, which, believe it or not, is still happening, as well as thinking a bit about the different aspects of my PhD, and yeah, the different tasks that need to be done through them. I'm hoping that in jumping back into that organisation and jumping back into the actual doing, I'll be excited about talking about it and creating content around it. So yeah, do watch this space, do like, subscribe, stay involved, and do comment below. I very much am in need of inspiration in terms of what people would like to hear about. So yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned, I guess.